Hey Aries, I just pulled cards for you and honestly what came through is so layered and complex that I need to share this with you right away because the energy here is absolutely transformative. So grab your coffee or tea and settle in because what I am seeing in your cards is a complete metamorphosis of your life across three major dimensions, and I am not even exaggerating when I say this reading gave me actual chills. Let me start by saying that the universe is orchestrating something massive for you right now. We are talking about financial abundance that is going to shift your entire reality. A goodbye that is going to hurt like nothing else but will ultimately liberate you. And a love so intense and transformative that it feels almost apocalyptic in its power. These three energies are not separate stories. They are all interconnected in ways that will become clear as we move through these cards. Alright, so the first card I pulled for you is the Fool, and can I just say this card appearing first is absolutely perfect for what is coming. The Fool is not about being naive or reckless. This is about divine timing and new beginnings that require absolute faith. What I am picking up here is that you are standing at the edge of something completely new, and I mean completely new. This is not a small change or a minor adjustment. This is you stepping into an entirely different version of your life. The energy of the Fool tells me that you have been through something recently that has stripped away your old identity. Maybe you have been questioning who you are, what you want, where you are going. And the beautiful thing about the Fool is that this card does not care about your past credentials or your previous failures. The Fool energy is saying start fresh, begin again. Trust the journey even when you cannot see the entire path ahead. What I am specifically seeing for you Aries is that this new beginning is connected to all three themes we are exploring today. The financial abundance that is coming requires you to step into unfamiliar territory. The painful goodbye is what is creating the space for this new beginning. And the apocalyptic love is waiting for you on the other side of this leap of faith. The Fool is asking you to trust that everything happening right now, even the hard stuff, is positioning you for something extraordinary. I also want to point out that the Fool carries the number 0, which in numerology represents infinite potential. You are literally standing in a space of unlimited possibility right now. Yes, it might feel scary or uncertain, but uncertainty is just another word for potential. The universe is not pushing you off a cliff. It is inviting you to fly. And something tells me that once you take this leap, you are going to wonder why you ever hesitated. The second card that came through is Six of Cups, and this is where we start to understand the painful goodbye that is part of your journey. Six of Cups traditionally represents nostalgia, past connections, childhood memories, and sometimes people from your past coming back into your life. But in the context of your reading, this card is showing me something deeper and more bittersweet. What I am seeing is that you have been holding onto something or someone from your past with a grip so tight that it has been preventing you from moving forward. This could be an old relationship that you keep revisiting in your mind, a friendship that has run its course but you cannot seem to let go, or even a version of yourself that you keep trying to resurrect even though you have outgrown it. The Six of Cups is beautiful and tender, but it can also trap us in the past if we are not careful. The painful goodbye I am seeing in your cards is not just about losing someone or something. It is about releasing the fantasy of what could have been. It is about accepting that some chapters are truly over and no amount of wishing or hoping is going to rewrite the ending. And here is the thing Aries, this goodbye is going to hurt. I am not going to sugarcoat it. You are going to feel the weight of this loss. You are going to grieve what you thought would be. You are going to question if letting go is the right decision. But what the Six of Cups is also showing me is that this release is absolutely necessary for your growth. You cannot step into the abundance and the transformative love that is waiting for you while you are still emotionally tethered to the past. The universe is asking you to honor what was, to appreciate the lessons and the beauty of that chapter, and then to close the book, not with bitterness or resentment, but with gratitude and grace. I am also picking up that this goodbye might involve forgiving yourself for staying too long or for hoping when maybe you should have been walking away. Be gentle with yourself during this process. The Six of Cups reminds us that we loved with pure intentions, and there is no shame in that. But now it is time to redirect that love toward your future instead of your past. The third card is Three of Swords. And okay, yes, this is traditionally considered one of the more difficult cards in the tarot deck, but hear me out because what this card is showing in your reading is actually a crucial part of your transformation. Three of Swords represents heartbreak, painful truth, and the kind of clarity that only comes through emotional suffering. But it also represents the moment when delusion shatters and reality becomes crystal clear. What I am seeing with Three of Swords is that the painful goodbye we talked about with Six of Cups is not going to be a gentle fade into the distance. This is going to be a sharp, sudden, and undeniable ending. Something is going to happen or something is going to be revealed that makes it impossible for you to stay in denial anymore. And yes, this is going to pierce your heart. The imagery of Three of Swords shows three swords piercing a heart, and that is exactly what this moment is going to feel like. But here is what I want you to understand about this energy. The Three of Swords is not punishment, it is liberation disguised as pain. Sometimes we need the truth to hurt us before we can finally break free from situations that are not serving us. Sometimes we need to feel the full weight of disappointment before we can truly release our expectations. This card is showing me that you have been operating under certain illusions or false hopes, and those illusions are about to be shattered in a way that leaves no room for doubt. Now I know that sounds harsh and maybe even scary. But what I am also seeing is that on the other side of this heartbreak is a clarity so profound that it will change everything. You are going to understand things about yourself, about relationships, about what you truly deserve that you could never have understood while you were still hoping and waiting and trying to make something work that was never meant to work. The Three of Swords is the card of necessary endings and liberating truth. And here is the powerful part. Aries, once your heart has been cleared of these old wounds and false hopes, once you have felt the pain and moved through it, you are going to have so much more capacity for the real love that is coming. You cannot fill a cup that is already full of bitterness and disappointment. The Three of Swords is emptying your cup, painful as that process might be, so that it can be filled with something genuine and transformative. Now let me pull the fourth card, and this is where the energy starts to shift toward the financial abundance that is absolutely coming into your life. The card here is Eight of Swords, and I know what you might be thinking. Wait, Eight of Swords is about feeling trapped and restricted. How does that relate to money coming in? But stay with me, because what this card is revealing is actually the exact thing that has been blocking your abundance. Eight of Swords shows a figure blindfolded and bound, surrounded by swords. But here is the key detail that most people miss. The bindings are loose and the swords are not actually touching the person. This is not real imprisonment. This is self-imposed limitation. This is mental and emotional restriction that feels real but is actually completely removable if the person would just take off the blindfold and step forward. What I am seeing for you, Aries, is that you have been operating under certain beliefs about money and abundance that have been keeping you stuck. Maybe you have been telling yourself that financial success requires sacrificing your values or working yourself to exhaustion. Maybe you have internalized messages from your family or society about money being scarce or hard to come by. Maybe you have convinced yourself that you do not deserve wealth or that wanting money is somehow shallow or wrong. The Eight of Swords is showing me that these beliefs are the only thing standing between you and the financial breakthrough that is trying to reach you. The abundance is already there, it is already available, but you have been unable to see it or receive it because of these mental blocks. And the beautiful thing is that once you recognize these limitations for what they are, just thoughts and conditioning, you can literally step right out of them. What I am also picking up is that part of your financial restriction has been connected to the past situation we talked about earlier. Maybe you have been financially entangled with someone who was holding you back. Maybe you have been pouring your resources into something that was never going to give you a return. Maybe you have been so emotionally drained by that painful situation that you have not had the energy to pursue opportunities. The Eight of Swords is saying that as you release the past, as you move through that painful goodbye, you are also releasing the financial limitations that came with it. The universe is showing me that you are about to have a major mental shift around money. You are going to see opportunities that were always there but that you could not perceive before. You are going to realize that you have skills and talents and value that the market is absolutely willing to pay for. You are going to understand that abundance is not about working harder. It is about removing the blocks that have been keeping the flow restricted. The fifth card is Page of Cups, and this card is absolutely beautiful in the context of everything we have been discussing, because it represents new emotional beginnings, creative inspiration, and messages of love. The Page of Cups is that first glimmer of something new and exciting on the emotional horizon, and in your reading. This is directly connected to the apocalyptic love that is coming your way. What I am seeing with Page of Cups is that after the pain of the goodbye, after the clarity of the heartbreak, after the release of your limitations, you are going to start receiving signals that something completely different is possible in love. This might start as a feeling, an intuition, a sense that the energy around you is shifting. You might start noticing synchronicities or signs that love is on its way. You might feel your heart opening in a way it has not opened in a long time, maybe ever. The Page of Cups energy is gentle and tentative and a little bit magical. This is not the full-blown intensity of the apocalyptic love yet. This is the preview, the first whisper, the initial spark. And what I want you to understand is that this new love energy is going to feel completely different from what you have experienced before. If your past relationships were characterized by struggle or uncertainty or trying to force something that was not quite right, this new energy is going to be characterized by ease, a natural flow, and a sense of coming home. I am also picking up that the Page of Cups represents you being emotionally available in a new way. After everything you have been through, after all the pain and the goodbye and the clarity, you are going to approach love with a freshness and an openness that was not possible before. You are going to be ready to receive love without all the baggage and defense mechanisms and old patterns. You are literally becoming a new person emotionally. And that is what is going to allow this transformative love to enter your life. The Page of Cups also carries creative energy. And I am seeing that part of your financial abundance might be connected to creative pursuits or following your intuition in business. Do not dismiss ideas that feel playful or imaginative. The Page energy is telling you that what feels like play might actually be your path to prosperity. The sixth card that came through is Six of Wands, and can I just say yes? Because this card is pure victory and recognition and success. Six of Wands is the card of public acknowledgement, of being celebrated for your achievements, of finally getting the recognition you have deserved all along. In the context of your reading, this card is confirming that the financial abundance coming your way is not just going to be about having more money in your bank account. It is going to come with recognition and respect, and a sense of finally being seen for your true value. What I am seeing with Six of Wands is that you are about to step into a level of visibility and success that might actually surprise you. Maybe you have been working behind the scenes for a long time. Maybe you have been underestimated or overlooked. Maybe you have doubted your own abilities. But the Six of Wands is saying that all of that is about to change in a major way. You are going to be recognized. You are going to be celebrated. You are going to be sought after for your skills and your knowledge and your unique gifts. The energy of Six of Wands also tells me that this success is going to be public in some way. This is not a private victory. This is something that other people are going to see and acknowledge. And I know that might feel uncomfortable if you are someone who prefers to stay under the radar, but the universe is asking you to step into the spotlight and own your achievements. You have worked too hard and come too far to shrink yourself now. What I also want to point out is that Six of Wands often appears after we have overcome significant challenges, which makes perfect sense given everything else in your reading. You are not being handed success on a silver platter. You are earning it through everything you have survived and learned and transformed. The victory is sweeter because you know how much it cost you to get here. And when you are standing in that moment of recognition, you are going to understand that every painful goodbye, every heartbreak, every limitation you had to overcome was actually preparing you for this level of success. I am also seeing that this recognition might open doors you never even knew existed. One success is going to lead to another. One opportunity is going to create 3 more opportunities. And suddenly you are going to find yourself in a completely different financial reality than where you started. The Six of Wands is telling you to get ready to receive, to say yes to opportunities, to believe that you are worthy of everything that is coming your way. The 7th card is Nine of Cups, and oh my goodness, Aries. This is literally called the wish fulfillment card in tarot. Nine of Cups represents emotional satisfaction, dreams coming true, getting what you have been hoping for, and that feeling of deep contentment that comes when your desires finally manifest. In your reading, this card is showing me that the apocalyptic love we have been talking about is not just going to be intense and transformative. It is going to be deeply fulfilling, in a way that satisfies your soul, What I am seeing with Nine of Cups is that you have had certain desires and wishes around love that maybe you have kept secret or that you were afraid to admit even to yourself. Maybe you have wanted a level of passion and intensity that seemed unrealistic. Maybe you have desired a partnership that felt more like destiny than coincidence. Maybe you have hoped for a love that transforms you and challenges you and makes you feel truly alive. The Nine of Cups is saying that these are not foolish wishes. These are actually prayers that the universe has heard and is now answering. The Nine of Cups energy is also showing me that this love is going to satisfy you on multiple levels. It is not just going to be physical chemistry or emotional connection or intellectual compatibility. It is going to be all of those things working together in perfect harmony. You are going to feel seen and understood and desired and cherished all at once. And after everything you have been through, after all the disappointments and the heartbreak and the settling for less than you deserved, this level of fulfillment is going to feel almost unreal. I also want to mention that Nine of Cups carries a strong sense of gratitude and appreciation. When this love comes into your life, you are going to feel so deeply grateful, not just for the person but for the journey that brought you to them. You are going to understand why certain things had to end, why certain people could not stay, why you had to go through what you went through. It is all going to make sense in retrospect, and that understanding is going to make the happiness even sweeter. What I am also picking up is that Nine of Cups represents you being in alignment with what you truly want rather than what you think you should want or what other people expect from you. This love is going to be a reflection of your authentic desires, and that authenticity is what makes it so powerful and transformative. The eighth card is Ten of Wands and okay, so this card might seem contradictory at first because Ten of Wands traditionally represents burden and overwhelm and carrying too much responsibility. But in the context of your reading, what this card is showing me is actually really important. The Ten of Wands is revealing to all the way you have been operating, that you are finally going to release as you step into this new chapter. What I am seeing is that you have been carrying way too much on your shoulders for far too long. Maybe you have been the person who always has to be strong, who always has to figure everything out alone, who takes responsibility for everyone and everything around you. Maybe you have been trying to force outcomes through sheer willpower and effort. Maybe you have been exhausting yourself trying to make something work that required you to carry the entire load by yourself. The Ten of Wands is showing me that part of your transformation involves learning to put down burdens that were never yours to carry in the first place. This is especially relevant to the painful goodbye we talked about earlier. I am getting the sense that whatever or whoever you are releasing has been weighing you down in ways you might not have fully acknowledged. You have been trying to carry this person or this situation forward through your own effort, and it has been draining your energy and your resources and your joy. But here is the shift that is happening. As you move through this goodbye, as you step into the new beginnings and the financial abundance and the transformative love, you are going to realize that you do not have to do everything alone anymore. You are going to learn to delegate, to ask for help, to allow other people to contribute and support you. You are going to understand that strength is not about carrying everything yourself. It is about knowing when to share the load. What I am also seeing with Ten of Wands is that your financial breakthrough is going to involve releasing the belief that money has to be hard or that you have to struggle to be successful. You have been carrying this burden of thinking that abundance requires grinding yourself into the ground, but the universe is showing you a different way. The money that is coming is going to flow more easily than you expect because you are finally going to stop blocking it with overwork and overwhelm. And in terms of the apocalyptic love, Ten of Wands is showing me that this new relationship is going to be characterized by partnership and shared responsibility rather than you carrying everything alone. You are going to be with someone who shows up, who carries their weight, who makes your life easier rather than harder. What a concept, right? The ninth card is Six of Swords, and this is such a powerful card of transition and moving toward calmer waters. Six of Swords represents leaving behind turbulent times and moving toward peace, healing, and better circumstances. In your reading, this card is showing me the actual journey from where you are now to where you are going. And I have to tell you, the destination is so much better than where you have been. What I am seeing with Six of Swords is that you are in the process of a major life transition right now. Even if you cannot see all the pieces yet, This is not a sudden change. This is a gradual movement from chaos to clarity, from struggle to stability, from confusion to peace. And while you are in the middle of it, while you are in that boat crossing the water, it might not feel dramatic or exciting. It might just feel like you are doing what needs to be done, one day at a time, one decision at a time, but the Six of Swords is promising you that you are moving toward something better. The painful goodbye is behind you or is happening now as part of this transition. The Eight of Swords limitations are being left on the shore. The Ten of Wands burdens are being released as you move forward. Everything that has been weighing you down and holding you back is part of the old landscape that you are actively leaving behind. What I love about Six of Swords in your reading is that it carries this energy of guided transition. You are not doing this alone, even when it feels like you are. There is divine timing and divine support moving you forward, carrying you toward the abundance and the love and the recognition that is waiting for you. Trust the journey even when it feels slow or uncertain. You are exactly where you need to be, moving at exactly the right pace. I am also seeing that Six of Swords represents mental clarity and emotional distance from situations that were too close and too painful to see clearly before. As you move through this transition, you are going to gain perspective on everything that has happened. You are going to understand why certain things had to end, why certain people showed their true colors, why the universe was redirecting you even when you were resisting. And that understanding is going to bring you so much peace. The 10th and final card is Ace of Swords, and can I just say that ending your reading with an ace is absolutely perfect because aces represent new beginnings and pure potential. But Ace of Swords specifically represents mental clarity, breakthrough moments, and truth cutting through illusion. This card is showing me that everything we have talked about, the goodbye, the abundance, the transformative love, is going to be accompanied by a level of clarity and truth that changes everything. What I am seeing with Ace of Swords is that you're about to have major breakthrough moments where suddenly everything makes sense. You are going to see situations and people and patterns with perfect clarity. You are going to cut through your own self-deception and limiting beliefs with laser precision. You are going to speak your truth with confidence and conviction. You are going to make decisions from a place of clarity rather than confusion or emotion. The Ace of Swords is also showing me that this clarity is going to be empowering rather than just painful. Yes, seeing the truth clearly can hurt sometimes, especially when we have been avoiding it. But ultimately, truth is liberating. The Ace of Swords is giving you the gift of seeing reality as it actually is, which allows you to make choices based on truth rather than wishful thinking or fear. What I am also picking up is that Ace of Swords represents new ideas and fresh perspectives around all three major themes of your reading. You are going to have revelations about money and abundance that open up completely new possibilities. You are going to understand relationships and love in a way you never have before. You are going to see yourself and your potential with new eyes. These mental breakthroughs are going to be just as transformative as the external changes happening in your life. The Ace of Swords also carries the energy of communication and speaking your truth. I am seeing that part of your transformation involves finding your voice and using it powerfully. Maybe you have been silent about things that needed to be said. Maybe you have been people-pleasing or avoiding difficult conversations. The Ace of Swords is giving you the courage and the clarity to communicate authentically. And that is going to change your relationships and your life in profound ways. So Aries, let me bring all of this together for you because what I am seeing in your cards is truly extraordinary. You are in the middle of a complete life transformation that touches every major area of your existence. The painful goodbye that is happening or about to happen is not a punishment. It is a necessary clearing that is making space for everything you have been asking for. The financial abundance that is coming is not just about money. It is about you finally recognizing your own value and releasing the limitations that have been keeping you stuck. You are about to step into a level of success and recognition that reflects your true worth. And it is going to feel both exciting and overwhelming in the best possible way. And the apocalyptic love, this transformative relationship that is coming, is going to be unlike anything you have experienced before. It is going to satisfy you on every level, challenge you to grow, and show you what partnership can be when two people are both emotionally available and ready for something real. This is the kind of love that changes you, that makes you grateful for every heartbreak that came before because now you understand what you were actually waiting for. Everything is connected. Everything is happening in divine timing, and everything is moving you toward a version of your life that is so much bigger and better than what you have been settling for. Trust the process, even when it hurts. Release what needs to be released. Step into the new with courage and faith. Your breakthrough is not coming, it is already here, unfolding moment by moment as you read these words. Do you feel this energy shifting for you already? Because I am telling you, the universe is not playing around with you right now. This is your time, Aries, and everything is about to change in ways you cannot even imagine yet. Stay open, stay brave, and get ready to receive everything you have been asking for and more.